game, but it is the same side. He injured the left ankle before, and he did limp off favoring that left side. Hate to see that. I mean, there was really not much of a need for him to get back in here, but you know how anxious high school players are. They want to play every chance they can get a hold of some equipment and get on a field someplace, and maybe need to rest that up a lot over the next couple of weeks to get ready for league.
First and 10, Hawthorne takes over, 46-yard line in their territory. Only a minute 50 left to play in the fourth period. Moala to pass, throws the outbreak, almost intercepted. That's good coverage. Sitting down in that left side flat was Darnell Thompson. He was playing that short flat route there. In position for the catch, Damon Wilson running the route on that sideline break.
Damon Wilson doing a good job of becoming the DB after he saw where the ball was at. It was thrown a little short, comes back, swats it down.
Second and 10 with under a minute 50 to play. There's a draw play up the middle. That's probably Gaines, Andre Gaines, tackled right at the line of scrimmage. So that's good contact. In fact, make that Vamonroff, the running back, Jose Ochoa with the stop, and he was helped out by Mark Payne.
Mark Payne's had a really excellent ball game. He's been consistent all night long, been in on a lot of plays, and we've called Ochoa a couple times tonight too. So again, two top defenders from Wainimi teaming up there to make the stop.
Timeout on the field with 1:33 left. Reminder, stay tuned after the conclusion of this game as we announce the Jones Channel 6 Player of the Game, sponsored by Aswell Trophy for special awards, gifts, engraving, and screen printing. Stop by Aswell Trophy at 235 North Oxnard Boulevard in Oxnard. Lots of candidates. It's going to be an interesting decision as we take a look at some of the Spirit Squad, cheerleaders, song leaders for Wainimi. They have to be happy. 34-14, Wainimi with their first win here in 1999. And one thing we said too, Dave, if Wainimi is able to go 3-2 in the preseason with the strength of schedule they play, they have to be awfully encouraged heading into Pacific View League play.
Well, they're not going to see too many teams in that Pacific View that are as good, much less better than the competition they faced through the first 3 weeks.
Screenplay, Andre Gaines has the catch near midfield, still on his feet, breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle, 45-40. Lots of effort and desire by Andre Gaines, brings it back into Wainimi territory across the 35 to the 33. That's excellent running by Andre Gaines as we check that replay.
This is the first time all night, Tommy, we've been able to see this big guy really get the train unlatched and go with it. I mean, he's a load. He's listed on the schedule here. He's listed at 5'10", 220, and he looks every bit of that. And it looks like the majority of it's in his lower body. And he carries some people with him down the field. He really gets a lot of extra yards just because he had momentum going his way.
24-yard pickup on that screenplay off the left side. Snap of the football on first down. The spike of the ball by Moala will save the timeout, setting up second and 10 yards to go. 34-yard line in Wainimi territory, down to 1:17 left to play in the fourth. Wainimi 34, Hawthorne 14. Split back set, tight end flanker right, split in left. Moala on the counter dive play. That's Andre Gaines straight up the middle. He's got the first down right about the 20-yard line. Lots of running room at the point of attack, and a timeout will be called by Hawthorne, we believe. There it is, as we see Gaines running with strength and power off the right side. That's a gutsy tackle by the free safety, Jesse Taylor. You see that big freight train coming through. It takes a lot of courage to step up and make that play.
Well, he's given up about 60, 65 pounds to Gaines, so you're absolutely right. That takes a lot of guts. That play has been probably their most successful play in the second half. Nothing fancy, just a real quick give. They're running it to the weak side, and something's happening with the defensive alignment or because of the formation to the opposite side of the field that's pulling a defender out of there that normally would be able to fill that gap quickly. And I don't know exactly what's happening there, but the defensive coaches for Wainimi are going to need to take a look at it, because I'm sure other people are scouting them are going to see this and are going to try to come back and run something very similar at them.
Fatigue possibly playing a factor. Of course, we talked about the cross-country trip that Wainimi made to Florida last week. They played a Saturday game, come back, practice during the week for a Friday contest here at home. I thought it was interesting. Coach Miller said in Florida, every 5 minutes, regardless of what happens, they stop the game to give water to both teams. It's a mandatory, it's a rule in Florida football with that humidity. Split back set, strong to the right side, counter give off the right side of Gaines. Once again, inside the 15 near the 13. That should wind it down close to the 1 minute mark before they unpile. Tackle on the play by Victor Perez, and he was helped out by Jesse Taylor, the free safety, as they line up quickly. 2nd and 3 yards to go. Slot to the right side, flanker left, single back in the backfield. There's the quick slant break intended right about the 5-yard line. Diving try by Damon Wilson. That'll come up incomplete, but it does stop the clock with 51 seconds left to play in the 4th period.
And this looks very similar to some of the other drives we've seen in the second half for Hawthorne. You know, they get the ball in really excellent field position, and they get a little bit of a march going, and then they get around that red zone, and all of a sudden Hawthorne kind of tightens it, or excuse me, Wainimi kind of tightens it down, and all of a sudden the going gets tough. Now they've got 2 downs to get this 4 yards and to keep their hopes of getting another score on the board alive.
3rd and a long 3 yards to go. The ball inside the 15. We'll call it the 14. I backfield set. Moala off play action, looking to pass, rolling to the right side. He's got a receiver, Hansen, in the end zone. He's going to tuck it away and run it. Breaks a tackle. Around a tackle, he steps inside the 10 to about the 6 and out of bounds. Darnell Thompson coming up to make the play right about the line of scrimmage. As we check the replay, somebody out there to try to throw the block on Darnell Thompson, but this is a good run by Moala.
Yeah, it's all Moala, actually, and a little bit of a block, but not much of a block out there. The problem is Wainimi's they can't just let him float around free in there. You know, we had a big number 60, Ochoa, coming through the center of the line, had the opportunity to put some pressure on him in the backfield, and instead flattened himself out, basically taking himself out of the play. He's not applying pressure. He's not deep enough to be any kind of a threat as far as the drop. You got to keep pressure on this kid and make him do something that he doesn't want to do.
2nd and goal from the 6-yard line with 37 seconds left in this football game. There's a dive play, actually the wide give off the left side. Stop right about the 5-yard line. That might be Ekamandu in as the running back. I thought I saw number 2 running with that football. Tackle on the play by Jesse Taylor. You talk about fine football game. Jesse Taylor has played one for Wainimi's defense. Clock continues to wind down, under 20 seconds at 15 and counting. 3rd and goal from the 4-yard line. Double twin, 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. Single back in the backfield. Rolling right to pass is Moala. Trying to point to an intended receiver. He's going to be dropped. Trying to get a receiver free. He's going to be dropped by big number 56, Victor Perez. I don't think he saw Victor.
I don't think he thought Victor had the speed to get to him. And Moala just misjudged that one totally. Nice play by the defensive end. He breaks free. He's kind of going feather technique, and boom. He comes and just nails him. Nice play to end the game.
The final score tonight from Wainimi, the Vikings with their initial win here in 1999. Big win 34-14 over Hawthorne. It was 34-0 at halftime. Had some problems keeping their hands on the football in the second half, but nonetheless, it was a great performance offensively and defensively. Still a few things to iron out, but you have to be happy with the win, Dave.
Excellent ball game for the Vikings, no doubt about it.
We're going to take a short break. We'll be back. Reminder, the final score from Wainimi. Wainimi 34, Hawthorne 14. Stay with us.
Here at Wainimi High School tonight, the Wainimi Vikings victorious 34-14 over Hawthorne Cougars. And here's a couple of the guys that had a lot to do with that. First, I want to talk about Leslie Lee. Great game tonight, Leslie.
Thank you, sir.
You had we had you unofficially for 14 carries, 181 yards, so roughly about 13 yards per carry. And we know that maybe this guy next to you was a little bit of the cause of that.
He was a big part of it. He's the one. I got all the yards because of him. All I got to do is just run behind him. I get everything.
Well, as is typical in the football world, we're going to give you this plaque for Game of the Week trophy, which you can share with this gentleman over here. That's Tyrone Totogi, big number 66, who was leading the way all the way. And you can hang on to this for a second, and then I'd like to talk a little bit with you, Tyrone. You and also Mr. Batista, the other pulling guard, carrying on the tradition here of the great guard play at Wainimi, and how much of that is important to you that carry on that tradition?
It's very important to me because we just got to pull for the running backs in so they can get a lot of yards in. That's about it.
Doesn't bother you that they get all the press?
Not as much.
He says that with a little bit of a smile on his face, but both these guys off to a good start here this year. You guys, you lost the first couple of games, but it looks like obviously you've been working really hard. You guys gonna be ready for next week?
Yeah, we are. We're gonna be real ready.
How about Pacific View? Do they need to look out for you guys?
Oh, most definitely.
All right, great job tonight by the Wainimi Vikings. We're going to let these guys get in the locker room, get warmed up. Good job, and congratulations on being the Jones Impact Player of the Week. I want to get Coach Larry Miller in here, if I could, for a second. Talk to Coach Miller. Thanks, guys. Take care of yourselves. Good luck the rest of the way, all right? Coach Miller, great job tonight.
Great job, great job. Very proud of the guys, but what we have to do is, I think they got kind of confused. That team was inside of our 20 probably 10 times, and we turned them back all but twice. So it's a very good job of our defense. I'm really, really pleased with that. What we got to do offensively is just, when we have a team down, we got to keep them down.
Well, that's the thing, you know, you got to go for that juggler vein. You guys up 34-0. It's hard to kind of keep that intensity level there, but nice to see in the first half.
It was. But again, it's a very good job on our offense of putting the points on the board. But defensively, I was proud of those guys because you know what, when a team gets inside of our 20, you know what, we're able to turn them back, and that's good. But we just got to control the football a little bit more and put more points on the board.
Well, we were really impressed with the Vikings offense during that first half. Thought you guys looked very, very crisp. We were a little worried coming off the big Florida trip that you might have a little bit of lackadaisical play, but that was a great trip for you, right?
Oh, it's absolutely fabulous. And the guys just well behaved, and it was exciting, and it was a good trip, both educationally and you know, sports-wise for the kids. And you know what, you get beat up a couple times, and I think they were hungry for a win. We played some tough teams, and those guys were hungry tonight. So I was just real pleased the way they came out.
Well, great job, Coach. And obviously the Vikings were hungry tonight, coming away with a big win against Hawthorne, 34-14. You got a tough one down the road here, 2 more tough games before you get into the league. How's it looking for what you've planned so far during the course of this year?
Well, so far pretty good. Now we just have to take it 1 week at a time because I tell you, going up to Tascadero, it's not going to be an easy task.
No, they're always tough. Good luck next week, Coach. Thanks for joining us. Back to you upstairs.
Toddy is Ventura County's genuine Chevrolet dealer and your one stop for genuine deals. You don't have to hassle with big auto malls with high overhead. At Toddy Chevrolet, you'll find the best selection, best deals, and the best customer service right here in town. And our customer choice plan makes buying or leasing easier. We have a huge selection of new 2000 Silverados, and for a limited time, save $5,000 off MSRP on a new Suburban. Ventura County is Toddy Country, located in the heart of town on Oxnard Boulevard. At Toddy Chevrolet, not Tody, it's Toddy. We make buying or leasing easy.
The final score tonight, Jones Impact Game of the Week, week number 3, Wainimi with their first win here in 1999, 34-14 over Hawthorne. We're going to take a look at some of the outstanding plays. We've got some tremendous replays to show you. First play happened to be the opening play of the ball game, Dave Wheeler. Dwayne Taylor picks up that bouncing kickoff right about the 15, brings it back to the 10, and goes 90 yards for the opening score.
Boy, it really deflates Hawthorne, but, you know, they just, they're subject to that old rule of thumb. If there's a bobble there, you better break down and not go at it quite so fast, because that's what can happen. The timing just is there for somebody to spring one. That's what happened. Taylor able to run it down right down the middle of the field, 90 yards, great score.
Dwayne Taylor, the first of 2 touchdowns in this evening's football game. The second play, this is Jason Austin, the power play off the right side from 4 yards out. He's in the end zone.
Great leg drive on that play, too. He had to go through quite a few of the Hawthorne defenders.
Kickoff, one of the, I guess, few offensive highlights, probably the only one in the first half for Hawthorne. Jamario Smith fielding that kickoff following the Austin touchdown, brings it back down the sidelines, deep into Hawthorne territory, to Wainimi territory, I should say, but to Wainimi's defensive credit, they held on downs on this particular possession.
Well, the defense for Wainimi did that on several occasions tonight. Great job. And here we see the player of the game. That's Leslie Lee following Totoji's block through that left guard tackle gap, and boom, he's off to the races. What a great run for Leslie.
92 of his 181 yards of rush offense on only 14 carries. Leslie Lee in the end zone for the first of 2 touchdowns, that one from 92 yards away. Great offensive running game in the first half. Off play action, this is Dwayne Taylor's second touchdown of the first half, the 56-yard scoring strike from Gordy Pinedo.
And the reason he's wide open is because that's the first time the Vikings have passed all night long. So Hawthorne got lulled to sleep. They see run. They see the run fake. They suck up. Taylor's wide open. Great job by Pinedo to get the ball to him.
And there's that second touchdown on that inside counter play to Leslie Lee. This one from 25 yards away.
And again, all that's made possible by a lot of really good blocking up front. And that was one of the question marks for Wainimi coming into this season, was the play of their line. Looks like they're doing okay.
Moala to Hansen, the initial touchdown of the evening for Hawthorne. This occurred in the third period. At this point in time, the deficit 34-6. 2-point conversion try. Moala to Nathan Patrick. A bobbling catch midway through the end zone. All of a sudden, it's 34-8.
And it happened soon enough in that third quarter that we all kind of stood up and went, whoa, we maybe got a ball game here. But unfortunately, Hawthorne really couldn't get too much going other than generating things from the 20 to the 20 on offense.
This is one of the things that Coach Miller not especially pleased with in the second half. Dropping the football, not hanging on. Pretty good tackle that time by Hawthorne. Leslie Lee losing the handle after that big pickup. And there's another lost football. That time, Andre Gaines loses the ball for Hawthorne, and Wainimi recovers.
Yeah, pretty sloppy second half play, not only by the Vikings, but also by Hawthorne. Here, Leslie Lee's going to put the ball on the ground again, and to his credit, that was a heck of a job tackling the football with the helmet, which is a great way to make that thing come out of there. But I know Coach Miller's going to go back into the films this week, and he's going to tell the guys on Monday, guys, we played a great one half of a football game. We still got to put it together. 2 halves of football playing like we did the first half, and people are going to have a very hard time beating this Viking team.
Harry Vamonroff scores off the right side for Hawthorne. 2-point try, no good. And here's a big screen play of about 29 yards. Andre Gaines running over tacklers. This is late in the fourth period. Lots of athletic ability and effort by Gaines on this play.
Well, he weighs 220 pounds, and it's the first time all night we were able to see him really cut loose in the open field. And obviously, you get that much weight going, that speed, a lot of people bouncing off of him downfield.
Excellent football game for Wainimi. They're in the W column here, 34-14. They defeat a fine Hawthorne High School team out of the Bay League. And before we wrap it up, in fact, before we get to our stats, we feel very privileged here in our press box location. We have a special press box guest who has been kind enough to drop by. This is none other than, I believe this is Bobby Boucher. Bobby?
That you allow me to be your water boy for the Jones Undercover crew. I've noticed that they have been perspirating very much, and that is a clear detection of dehydration. And please don't tell Mama I was here. She don't want me around no foosball. Please don't tell her. Please.
Bobby, I want to tell you, you mentioned Mama. You know, Mama is always one that has words of wisdom. Does Mama have any words of wisdom to impart to us up here tonight?
Well, she says that certain losers usually are the devil. They're the devil, but I don't know if that is very true, but I have to listen to Mama.
Bobby, we thank you for coming by. Did you bring any of that famous water along with
yes.
you tonight?
Yes, it's high quality H2O. I got it from a medicine man in Alaska, and he says that if you look at that.
I'm going to do the honors here tonight. Is this okay? You sure?
Yes.
This is your special stock, right?
This is my special stock. It is very cold. You notice the crystal clear smell.
I'll tell you what, that's the best water I've had in many a moon. I'll tell you. Thank you, Bobby.
Yes, you're quite welcome.
Should we give some of that to Dave? Or
Oh, yes, Mr. Dave Wheeler.
Never touch the stuff if it doesn't have alcohol in it. Thank you so much.
No problem. You guys take care now, okay?
Bobby, thanks for dropping by. That is none other than Bobby Boucher. You know him as the water boy. Tremendous job. We're happy to see him. We've been looking forward to his appearance in our press box. He finally comes through tonight. 34-14 tonight. Wainimi with a big win over Hawthorne. We'll check the stats. Wainimi with the big win, 428 yards of total offense on the strength of 372 yards of rush offense. Pinedo was 1 of 5 passing for 56 yards, that being that 56-yard scoring strike to Dwayne Taylor. Leslie Lee, our player of the game, 14 carries for 181 yards. Taylor, 7 carries for 67. And Isaac Austin with 9 for 65. Jason Austin, I should say, 9 carries for 65 yards. For Hawthorne, good job in the second half coming back from that 34-0 halftime deficit. They closed with 329 yards of total offense. 8 of 22 passing for Eric Moala, their junior quarterback, for 99 yards. He had 1 touchdown. Rushing-wise, Keeble leading the way, 17 carries for 82 yards. Vamonroff, Dave, 11 carries for 80 yards. And Gaines had 10 carries for 48 yards. So those rushing numbers really came alive in the second half for Hawthorne.
They did. They just, again, it was mostly 20 yard to 20 yard. not a lot of ability to get it into the end zone. And again, that's a hats off to the Wainimi defense.
Special thanks tonight to Aswell Trophy. Of course, they provided our Channel 6 Player of the Game trophy tonight. For special awards, gifts, engraving, and screen printing, don't forget, stop by Aswell Trophy at 235 North Oxnard Boulevard in Oxnard. Also, don't forget our outstanding crew tonight: Roger Muchmore, Joe Beltran, Jim Milligan, Steve Starr, Carl Holm, Max McIver, Shane Davis, Bill Goodman, Stacy Dillon, Roland Martinez, John Beltran, and Hector Ruiz, as we watch Leslie Lee run down that field for that 92-yard score. Great game tonight. Reminder, stay tuned next week as we bring you Ventura at Rio Mesa. Tonight's game has been brought to you in part by Toddy Chevrolet. It's not Toady, it's Toddy, where we make buying or leasing easy. By Stewart Title, the leading Ventura County provider of escrow and title services. By Crown Dodge, where customer satisfaction is our #1 priority. And by Amici Pizza, for delicious pizza and pasta at a great price. Stop by Amici Pizza and Pasta at 1929 South Patterson Road in Oxnard. Reminder, the final score here tonight from Wainimi. Wainimi with a big win, 34-14 over Hawthorne. My name is Tom West for the entire Jones crew. And Dave Wheeler, our analyst supreme, the Dr. Jerry Guerin, and who's that guy just walked out, Bobby Boucher? Good to see Bobby. We look forward to seeing you next week. Jones, Intercable, high school football game of the week next week. Ventura at Rio Mesa. Good night, everyone.